I'm a soldier, and I have to take my ups and my downs. And on Saturday, I took a loss, and I have to take it like a man. And that's why one of my sayings is, never let success get to your head, and never let your failures get to your heart. It's all about keeping a balance and moving forward, and that's the mindset that I have to keep.
Without no struggle, there's no progress. So we'll be grinding, working to improve.
Winning is a formula that everyone wants to do. And when you're winning, it's easy to become complacent. But complacency is the killer of success. So we've got to stay ahead of the game.
And everything we've always done has worked, so now we're just sharpening the tools again.
Clenching my fists, and when that bell goes, we're going to get down and dirty and handle business, and I can't wait to trade some leather.
Let's get ready to rumble! Once again, the heavyweight champion of the world, Anthony Joshua!
My philosophy is win, I come back to the gym, I get on my grind, I try and improve. I've taken losses before as an amateur, and I come back to the gym, I try to improve. That got me here today. So there's nothing wrong in losing, there's something wrong in getting disheartened, and I'll never get disheartened. So for me, why I like to feel comfortable is because I already know whatever happens, I'm gonna come back to the gym in a few days and get back on my grind. And if I didn't want to be here, no one's forcing me. Let me just enjoy what I'm doing and have fun with it.
There's times that I faced defeat as an amateur in my third fight. And imagine I would have stopped then, there'll be no now. So I feel like stopping isn't in my DNA. To continue, and as long as I have breath in me, I'll keep on fighting for the passion of boxing. Shannon Briggs, can I get a let's go champ? Can I get a let's go champ? Can I get a let's go champ? That's what I'm talking about, let's go champ. Shannon Briggs talks about the times he was down and out, when nobody believed in him. I think everyone in this room has been through certain things where nobody believed in them. And nobody in this room would be here if they gave up. And that's where let's go champ comes into my life right now. A good fighter can fight in many styles, so they know what's needed to be done and they're bringing the heat. That's the main thing, because I feel like that's what Andy Ruiz does when you listen to him talk. He's like, you know, I'm ready to bring the heat, man. You know what I mean? So they're bringing the heat day in, day out. And the main thing is just getting me battle hardened. Punches to the head, body, shoulders, forearms. Just gets you conditioned so you can keep on walking through fire. I am that I am. I've always been solid, I've always been a fighter. So I can't really say I'm going to go in there and then you're going to see me fight like Mike Tyson, or you're going to see me fight like Larry Holmes. I can sharpen my tools as much as I can and, you know, pray that it pays off. And as confident as I am, I can't say you're going to see something completely different, but you're definitely going to see, you know, an improved fighter, because I'm not at my peak where I'm just like plateauing. I'm still learning every camp, every training session. You don't make your weight as a heavyweight and then focus on training. You focus on your training, and if you feel good, whatever weight you are, you work around that. So all I've done is just focus on my boxing aspect, and providing I'm doing my rounds, I'm doing my training and I'm feeling good, then the weight will be what the weight is. But we just have to take the answers from the gym in order for the weight to be what it is. So it's not like I've got to hit this target and that means I'm ready. I feel like I've got to train in this certain way, I've got to perform in this certain way in the gym. And then once we've ticked all those boxes, whatever the weight will be is whatever the weight will be. As I said, like, I always understood when I came into the game the importance of adding something to the boxing division. I feel like every fighter has to, because, you know, there's no legacy that we join, we have to create our own. Like, when you get into the sport, no one really knows who you are, so you have to do your apprenticeship through the amateurs, and then in the pros you try and make a name. So I understood that you had to create a show, and I worked at that as well as working at boxing. And then after taking my loss, I know I've got to get back down to my fundamentals. There's a little crack in the foundations. So rather than sitting on the top of the kingdom, I've got to get down on my hands and knees and get filling in the cracks and stuff like that. So rather than flaunting and promoting the show and showing the castle off, I've now got to get down and fix the cracks in the building. And that's what I've been doing, is focusing on that type of stuff rather than promoting. History shows you how to deal with certain aspects of life. And I'm just blessed to have a second opportunity, right? So not like I'm sitting here lost and we're talking about Anthony, you know, what have you done? Like, you look like you've lost it. You're not the same person. Like, you're not a fighter anymore. What are you? You still know me as the same man. So I'm still here. So the loss hasn't affected me in that sense. And I always reflect back to, I always say, I listen to these YouTube motivational videos, and a lot of them are to do with struggles, and rather than talking about your success, talk about your failures and stuff. I always remember I would never listen to that part because I hadn't taken a loss yet, so I was just, as a professional, so I was always kind of fast forwarding past that. But my ears are now open to these things. So that being said, is that when your ears open to certain bits of information, you then become smart, don't you? Rather than blocking it out because it doesn't relate to you. The more you listen, the more you learn. So my ears are definitely open to learning more.
You know, when you're young, you've got so much energy, not much to do. So sometimes you can find yourself doing stuff that you're not supposed to do, but you don't realise it because you're just burning up energy. It doesn't always have to be sport, you know, but try to be productive, do good things. Whether it's charity work, I know it doesn't sound cool, you know what I mean, but in the long run, when you get a bit older and stuff and you start realising about your future, you'll understand. And I just hope that the elder generation as well can guide the youth, because sometimes the youth don't have anyone to look up to.
Hype is hype, you know, but depends who believes it and who don't. But I believe in myself. Yeah. I back myself.
That's what's important.
Yeah, I just back myself, because I wouldn't say, if I didn't work hard and I didn't come gym every day, I wouldn't be here telling I back myself. But I put in the work to compete with the elites. So I definitely back myself. But most definitely, what I am today, like that's what I said, is that going back to the Olympics, what I am in 2012 isn't going to be the Anthony Joshua in 2016. It's all, without no struggle, there's no progress. So we'll be grinding, working to improve. So my debut will be a good Anthony Joshua, but ain't going to be the greatest Anthony Joshua. That comes with time. So the pressure and all the hype, as long as I get in there, I perform, and I get that win, everyone's going to be happy, I'm going to be happy. And I'm going to be out again in the next 10 days or 30 days. So we just got to keep the ball rolling, really.
Words of advice in terms of staying focused. I think that if you're a dog and you hang around sheep, you'll soon start making sheep noises. So I think be very wary of your surroundings, try and stay around focused people, and always ask questions of support, because you never know the inspiration or guidance you need to keep you on track could be, right through the next door. So always ask for help and support, because it's easy to find people who want to help and keep you on track.
Winning is a formula that everyone wants to do, and when you're winning, it's easy to become complacent. But complacency is the killer of success, and nobody goes and becomes successful alone. So I'm the one fighting, but there's a whole support staff behind. Everyone needs to be as enthusiastic as the person that's going out to compete and giving out that final product. We have time, we have projects, camp, non-camp. So as long as in non-camp we're preparing for a successful camp ahead and debriefing 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time, then we go into the camp. It may not be perfect, but as long as we're getting closer to perfection, we've got a better chance of winning every time, because the person behind is watching where we are. And if we're content and happy with what we're achieving because it's out of the ordinary, that person is only going to improve what we're doing and take it to a new height. So we've got to stay ahead of the game.
There is no hard part about being a professional boxer. It's a blessing. And if I wasn't a professional boxer, it'd be a blessing as well. As I said, wealth comes in character. It's not about status. So there's no big difference to what I do that determines who I am. It's just boxing is a blessing because I do it for passion, not for occupation.
He's slightly confident and slightly cocky. He's like, listen man, I respect you, but at the same time when it's time to fight, we've got to switch it on. Yeah, I heard that before, it is what it is, cool. You're gonna tell me that. And that's it really. Not in this nice guy nonsense. Let's get down to business. Honestly, feel refreshed, I feel relieved, and the fight can't come soon enough.
I think being humble is not take competition out of being humble. Being humble is like me respecting you as a person and me respecting a lady who's on the bus and I stand up and give her my seat. And do you know what I mean? That's humble. But when you talk about competition, I feel people understand and respect that you have to carry a sense of fire in your belly, and that's all that is. It's not like arrogance or anything, it's just confidence, and I'm just confident that I know what I have to do now. I'm prepared to my best capability to go out and perform, and performance leads to the win. I'm not worried about Wilder. I just know how to fight and I know how to box. So that's a good place to be. When you don't second question, you don't doubt yourself. Do you know what I mean? When you can go into a boxing ring without having to question yourself about, damn, what do I do if this happens, or what do I do if that happens? I feel like I can control myself, and I feel like I've learned, you know, even in the last fight when I put him down, maybe I should have controlled myself a little bit more, etc. But the blessing is that out of such adversity, such great opportunity has come to right my wrong, to become two-time heavyweight champion of the world, to prove to the world, no, not to the world, to prove to myself that everything that I believed in and all the changes I wanted to make are going to pay off.
I'm doing this all for you guys. Listen, I've been in front of, I don't know, thousands of cameras this week, but you are the last people I stay behind for to make sure we get this content.